Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. And in today's episode I want to talk about the word remnant. Have you ever heard that? That there always will be a remnant, or when great things happened in the world, a lot of times it was a small group of people, a remnant. And I was walking at my local park, and I don't know if you could see, there's a hill and there's a lot of remnant trash that has been thrown over the hill. And it's a lot of broken bottles, crock pots, dishes, and different types of dinnerware, pieces of metal. And I'll zoom in and you can see what appears to be the top of a milk bottle right here. Look at that one right there. I don't know what is that. Oh, still intact. A little jar right there. Right there. And so all through there you can see all of the remnant trash, artifacts, relics of the past. And like I said, I found some bottles here before, and I found some more right here. This one, this says liquid veneer. Neat, huh? I found 2 intact bottles today. This one says the Burt Olney Canning Company, Oneida, New York. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? There it is. I can barely read it. But what a neat find. So what I'll do is I'll take that home and Google it and get an approximate year of this old bottle still intact. The Burt Olney, Oneida, New York Canning Company. And then this here looks like maybe it was an old ketchup bottle by Heinz. Heinz ketchup bottle, probably. So, walking by and saw that. And I love artifacts. I love things like arrowheads and primitive tools, antiques. And I like to see, when I'm driving through town, the old hitching posts from back in the day. Still remnant hitching posts still in our town where they hitch their horses on. Still there. And the carriage steps, back in the carriage days. Stone steps, usually 2 steps, and where people could step down from their carriage. Still in town. Or when road crews are doing road work and they bring up the pavement and the roads, and underneath the roads are the brick. And I think that is so cool to see the brick that's underneath the road, laid by human hands so many years ago. Remnants. Remnants of people who went before us. I love it. And who knows, underneath this ground out here, where this out here in Ohio was all Native American country out here. And still remaining to be found are their arrowheads and spear points underneath the ground. Still there, I'm sure. If I was so inclined with the shovel, I could go down and dig and sift through and find some of those arrowheads underneath there by the stream down here. And driving through town, I like the old buildings and seeing the dates: 1897, 1900, 1907. The buildings that were built many years ago that we still continue to use to this day. And I think about, as I drive through town, those people and the roads that we drive on at one time were dirt roads, horse and buggy. Imagine going through on a horse and buggy before the automobile. And some would say, well, Jim, that was a simpler time. Well, there's a part of me that says there was no simpler time. It seems like every era had something going on where the world was going to hell in a handbasket. And they made it through those tough times. And they didn't have the modern conveniences that we have today. And so I think perhaps maybe they were more of a hardy bunch than we are today. We're softies. When people would ride on those covered wagons and buggies and horses and no heating and plumbing and no electricity and doing things by hand without all the conveniences that we have today. And so, as I walk by these remnants, and I'll take these bottles home today from my walk, and I'll wash them, and I'll wash them up, and then I'll put them, display them. And when I walk by, I'll think about that time. Who were those people? What did they do? And just a reminder and a reflection back on a bygone era. What was this? What was this old used for? Did it hold cream? Milk? What was that for? What was this? Was this an old medicine bottle? Cough syrup or something in it? I don't know. What is this, another milk bottle? It appears so. And they just threw it over the hill. Over the hill. So one day, folks, we're going to leave behind our relics. What kind of remnant are we going to leave behind? And then we have to think about the people and their time in which they lived. That's the other thing. We can't judge people of the past. That was their time in which they lived. And who knows, if we lived back then, we'd have some of the same ideas and perhaps do a lot of the same things that they did. So we can't judge them. And I think that's important, that we remember who they were and the time in which they came from. And so will they look back on us one day? What will people think about us? What kind of remnant are we leaving behind? Perhaps good, some of it bad. And then the question is, how will we measure up? Remnants. And sometimes I think we don't think we can make an impact or make a difference, but we have to remember it was always a small group of people. Sometimes it can just be one person that can make the difference to make a positive change. It's all it takes. Anyway, thoughts from the side of the hill here. Take care. See you on the next one.